TV family. Catch us live on your TV screens.
We talk environmental issues, we talk sexuality, we talk physics, everything under the sun. I constantly ingas block up go Ekse, and if you have missed any other episode right here on Cape Town TV, you can hop onto Ekse on Cape Town TV, go YouTube. Otherwise, wake up with the very best in the mornings between 8 and 9 so that you can see the repeat. Otherwise, we live every other day between 4 and 5. This is Ekse Live, the biggest, the baddest, and the most hip and happening show in the motherland. Lama Moon right here, as well as
guys, please say my surname right. I beg. I beg of you. But of course, I'm Shante in studio. We're joined by a panel, and we're discussing everything that has to do with burnt out relationships. And now for this segment of the show, we're going to be talking about professional relationships.
Yeah, joining us, Gui panel Nguonga Nopel, Uhlala Nate as well Ngobile are still in the panel. So keep it locked because you might learn a thing or two. Everybody has had a chance to be a professional, right? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yes, and of course, workspace, it's a environment that you visit or rather go to most probably 5 days a week. So it impacts how you live your daily lives. So how important is it for you guys to keep a professional and healthy relationship with your place here?
With who?
With everyone, with your boss, your colleagues, everyone.
Sure. Pearl?
Okay. Keeping a professional relationship you have to have understanding of the people. You have to understand that you are there to build relationships, because the moment you have like bad relationships with people, you're gonna also create an uncomfortable environment for people and make people end up hating coming to work. And that is probably gonna, maybe you signed a contract at that place and it's probably gonna last you for 3 to 4 years. Imagine going to that place, a toxic environment, something that is gonna depress you for years. So I think it's very important to have some understanding, empathy, and some love. Be kind to people because you don't know what they are going through already. So adding to that stress is going to be something very big.
Wonga, we see you nodding.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest things to set in this type of environment that we're talking about is just to set the standard. First of all, your own personal standard. Raise it high. Raise your professional standard high, so that other types of relationships in the workplace for you, and asking yourself, is this the standard that I'm setting? Am I reaching standard that I'm setting by interacting in other small relationships or whatnot? Or did I come here for a span and then since I've set that standard span-wise, then everything under that standard can then follow. But if you haven't hit that standard, don't hit that.
But yeah, sometimes when you're at work, this person does not want to see you happy. And of course, because you're in a professional work environment, you have to make sure that a relationship you keep it professional. So how do you deal with conflicts that are one-sided? When you get in the office, how do you guys go about dealing with those work? And if you have any experiences in the past, can you please do share with them with us?
For me, so what happens with work, right? At first, when I first came into the professional field, I thought you have to put on the suit, because you do put on a suit and a tie. But I thought you have to put up this facade of, proper English kind of vibe. But then I realized, the more I do the things that my mother taught me at home, the more my work relationship becomes fine, The more I apply Ubuntu, because the minute you respect Ubuntu and you receive things with both hands, when you're greeting in the morning, those little gestures are very hard to be nar towards, especially someone that's very respectful. So I saw that applying that principle of Ubuntu kind of combats, the conflict. And when there is conflict, because usually people act that way for amehla abantu. Exactly, yo, dog, you go on, so being like that, you know, is
Again,
is-
I don't have time. What did you say, Q? Right here, right now. Angithi ungihlambalaze phambi kwabo. Why must I ask you to apologize behind their backs? Nqobile, don't take my advice.
I think what's important, what we need to understand is that when you're in a professional environment, you're not there to make friends, you're there to work. So I think if your work can speak for itself, I think friendship should come afterwards. It's like what my guy said here, over here, is that you need to set a standard, a professional standard.
Okay.
Sorry, a professional standard, and then everything else must fall behind. So you're not here to make friends. When you're in a professional place, you're here to do your job. So therefore, I think people will respect you when you respect your job. You're not there to, even if the person's not greeting you, it's fine. You're not there for that person. You don't get paid because of that person. You get paid because of your work.
Yeah.
Do your work can speak for itself. That way you can gain respect from people when you do your work and not care about what anybody has to say. They're not paying your salary.
Thank you. And a big thing is that that's very important to me is that we forget where we come from. I as a black child, I know by endlini I left nje papa, from last night. Don't interfere in my business at work because I know that I'm hustling for umbali, kindly, or like kindly, all these family members and everything. And when you go to work, you leave with that mentality. Then was a boy with that a bigger, better mentality that my brother spoke about is just your humbleness. Because it starts from your humbleness from home will become your defiance in the office.
I don't know how easy it is not to form friendships at work because as lifelong relationships, is it important to separate your work relationship, professional relationship with pleasure?
I think it is important to separate that because if you get your work done and then you create another relationship, then it's not going to be a problem. You're not going to have people beefing with you because they know that you get your work done. Whatever happens outside the work relationship you have is not going to interfere with your work. So the moment you get your work done and you know that I'm going to be there for you as my friend, but I'm going to be there for you as my colleague. So if I'm going to be doing my job as your colleague and doing my job as your friend, then that means I'm separating these two and I'm giving them my 100.
And I think you guys speak a lot about umsebenzi and the work that you put towards your actual occupation. Now, a relationship that you have is not only with people, but you also have a relationship with the work that you do and your work ethic. How important is it not to do too much? Because sometimes from one abantu that are workaholics and the person is working 24/7, and the moment you start only basing your life on umsebenzi, it limits or it takes away your social life, your family life, and all of those things that help you keep sane. So how important is it, Bana? Yes, you put in your all, but it's not to the point where it's detrimental to yourself and your health.
Okay, while you think about it, let's hear what the people at home had to say. 0603918464. Send us those videos, or can you voice notes, can you go Facebook, or Ekse Live. This is how she deals with burnt out relationships.
So basically, I'd say the best way to show up for the person that you are in a relationship with in order for them to avoid burning out is to basically, the best thing that you can do is to pay attention, because for us as people, it's kind of hard for us to notice our patterns. So I think the best thing that you can do as a lover, as a partner, is to show up for them by highlighting or picking up on the patterns of behavior that lead to burnout and alerting them to that particular pattern of behavior to sort of prevent burning out. Because basically at the end of the day, we do listen to our lovers. So yeah.
Hello everyone, my name is Buitumelo. How does one, in my opinion, show up in a relationship for a loved one when they are experiencing a burnout is that, first and foremost, showing up is very intentional. So you must go with an intention of enhancing what they already have. So you work with their strength and try to elevate it. Because remember, when someone is experiencing a burnout, they are running on empty. So you do not want to fuel a vehicle that is already just running on empty, flat tires, with new school of thoughts, new tools, new strategies. Just work with what they already have. It's your loved one. They are your loved one, so you already know what tickles their fancy, what gives them a boost, what makes them feel like they are human again. So work with that, and then you can introduce the new tools and all the skills that you already have. Remember, all the time, do it out of love, do it with love intentionally. Showing up is not enough. You must go there and do the work. So also remember that you are not pouring into an empty cup, because you must be fulfilled yourself. So try to also pour.
CTV family, catch us live on your TV screens.